Hello and welcome to the very first video of this 4-part video series. This video is on prospecting. And so what we're going to talk about first are the different stages of prospecting. And I'll go basically 1 through 7, as you can see on the screen, just explain them a little bit, talk about them. And then when we're done with that, I will go ahead and show my desktop, and I will actually go through the different stages that we talk about here. Now, I just wanted to say that I think prospecting is very undervalued as far as a sales tool. Most people talk about, the presentation and closing, but really, if you don't have the right prospect, you're probably not going to be able to sell them. If you are looking to sell Google Analytics, they have to have a website. And so let's say you prospect people that don't own a website. Well, then you're not going to have any chance on selling them GA4. So you got to get the prospecting right. So that allows you to go through the actual sales process. So let's go ahead and talk about the stages of prospecting. The first is find a local niche to target. The reason I say local is because you need to build up trust, especially when you're brand new into this. And if you don't have that reputation already, the easiest way to build trust is, number 1, be a local business, and number 2, if you need to, see them face-to-face to be able to show them what you're going to do. I think that people generally will trust you a lot more when they can see you face-to-face yet, and they know that you are someone local. And so that's why I say start out with a local niche to target. Next, learn and understand that niche. You want to get very specific if you can. In our example, I'm going to be doing lawyers in Denver. You could go even more specific than that, but for this example, I think that's pretty good. And what you're going to do is you're going to understand what kind of problems lawyers have, and you can help them solve those problems. In this case, we're going to be looking for lawyers in Denver that do not have Google Analytics 4 installed, because that is the type of client that you want to help them get Google Analytics installed with. And so it's a very specific niche with a very specific problem, and it's one then that you can sell pretty easily. We're going to go to Google, we're going to look at lawyers in Denver, and we're going to pick out law firms that we know that we can target. From there, we put them into a list, and we scrub that list, make sure that everybody's a good prospect. We find out if they use GA4 right now. So there's 2 ways to do that, and I'll show both of those ways. And then we find the contact details of whoever handles that. Generally, it's going to be a senior partner in the law firm, or if they're very large, they may have also a marketer or somebody at the law firm that handles their Google Ads and marketing. And you could probably talk to that person as well. And then we're going to fill out a CRM that we use, that we also put in this for you. And so those are the 7 steps. Rather than just talk about it, let's show you how this goes. We're in the very first sheet that you're going to have access to. And basically, this is just a list of business niches that you could go ahead and target, whatever you feel comfortable with. I always personally say you should probably target someone that you know a little bit about, you have passion toward words that you want to learn, just pick something that interests you and you have some knowledge. So go through this list, pick out a couple of them that you like, and then what you're going to do is you're going to search Google for those businesses. Pull up Denver. So generally speaking, if you wanted to do this manually, you could go right in here and you could just find law firms, okay? And so the first law firm is this Denver, Holland & Hart. And you just click on it. Okay, looks like it's a law firm in Denver, probably works. So let's go ahead and show you how there's 2 ways that you can find out if they're using Google Analytics 4. The first way to do that is to install a little plugin we call here Tag Assistant. And I'll have the Chrome extension for you down below the video. You install that, put that into Chrome, and once it's in there, you go ahead and enable it, and then refresh the page. Now, this tab will always have it working, and so now you can go ahead and check, and it looks like they only have Google Analytics, Universal Analytics installed. You can tell by this UA right here. Okay, so that's how you can tell if it's Universal Analytics. If it was GA4 installed, they would have a G here. And so let me give you an example of that. If we go to Measure School's website, and we look at the Tag Assistant for our website, you can see that we have a G right here. That means Google Analytics 4 is installed. Now we do dual tagging, so we have Universal Analytics installed as well. But this, obviously if it has a G, they already have Google Analytics 4 installed. They're probably a step ahead of everyone else and not the best prospect for you. So that's how I would do it in a manual sense. Now let's go to the second way that you can check for Google Analytics being installed, and you go ahead and hit Inspect. And everyone has this inspector. I'm just going to open it a little bit. Next, hit Network, and then type in Collect. Okay, once you have that typed in, refresh this, and you are going to see right here this Collect that comes up, and it'll happen on every single website. Collect version 1 means that Universal Analytics is installed. Now, if you have a Collect version 2, so I'll go back to our website, I'll do the exact same thing. You right-click, you hit Inspect. That's going to bring this up. you go over to the network tab and you have collect. And if you go ahead and refresh, so here's version 2, that's Google Analytics 4, and here's version 1, which is Universal Analytics. Okay, so that's how you can tell, the two ways that you can tell between the two. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Now let me show you a little bit more automated way of doing this. And I've already did this just for time purposes, but I'll show you exactly how to fill this out. Go to valuesurf.com, sign up with them. You get 1,000 free searches, so you'll never have to use or buy anything. You'll have plenty of searches. And you go into this setup, which is their API playground. You put in the query, which is going to be lawyers. You put in where you want to target it. In our case, as we talked about, it's Denver. And then you put in the number of results, which is 100. Now, I like using ValueSerp because you're using the API that Google provides to developers, which means they don't get mad if you're scraping from the API. They allow you to do that. Versus if you're doing it, if you scrape directly through the Google results, they can ban your IP or slow down what you're doing. Plus, you could also have, the reCAPTCHAs pop up every time you visit a website. So this is a little bit better. I highly recommend this. And then you can tell here's the top 100 results, right on down through the line. Now you take these, you just go ahead and hit copy on these, or download right here. And then you go over to our prospecting sheet that you're also going to have access to, and you go into the scraped results and you paste them right here. And so that's what I've done. And I'm looking at various ones, and then you can just find, here's a law firm right here. So I would go ahead and open that up. And it looks like they're using Universal Analytics. They got some weird stuff going on. But anyway, all you see is Universal Analytics. So this looks like an excellent candidate. And so at this point, you would just copy this over. Go to the second page and install it right here. Obviously, it's a layer. Put that as a high. There you go. And then the next step is to find their contact name and contact email. There's a lot of ways to obviously do that. You could do it via, you have the phone number right here, copy that. If you want to, go back in here and paste that. There you go. You can find an email address via form. They have a contact us form. They have their address here. I don't need to show you how to fill out this form. Obviously, you can fill out all that information as much as you want as far as what you're going to need to contact them. Now, another option for you that I found that works really good is to go to hunter.io. And put in Parker. And it looks like they have 20 email addresses here. You get 25 free searches a month with this, but you can find anybody's email address, and you can go ahead and get that email address. You'll have someone directly to contact. That is definitely the easiest way if you don't mind spending a little bit of money finding the email address to contact them. So at the end of the day, you're going to fill out your form, which is going to have a name, an email, possibly a LinkedIn is definitely one that I would look at. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 7 steps. What we did in this video is we found a local niche to target. We obviously didn't learn and understand that niche. That's going to be on to you, but you do a little research, or hopefully you know something about it already. Go to Google and scrape the top 100 results and try to find yourself at least 50 prospects from that list. Scrub that list, make sure that everybody on there is someone that you want to contact. Find out if they use GA4. I showed you 2 methods to be able to do that. Go ahead and find the contact details, and then fill out the customer relationship manager, the CRM, which is this sheet right here. Pretty simple. You put your scrape results, you have the outreach dashboard, you then change them over to the pipeline whenever they go, and we'll go through this further along. And then if somebody says they don't want to be contacted, we fill this out here. So we've gone ahead through all 7 of those. I hope you found this helpful, and I will be back real close with the next video, which will be on how to contact those people. Thanks for watching. See you soon.